Hi my angels, it's Hailey Reese and I hope that you guys are doing well and you are staying safe. Today's video is not a video that I ever thought that I would be making, and it's definitely not something that I want to be making. It's a story time, which you guys have been asking for quite some time now, but it's definitely not a story time that I hoped to share or could have even thought about sharing. And to be honest with you, I debated whether or not to even talk about this. I don't want to add fuel to the fire. I don't want to encourage behaviors or actions that are just terrifying, to be quite frank. But I feel like it's a very important story to share with you guys, because if even one of you finds yourself in a similar situation and you're caught off guard and you're in the spot, or on the spot, sorry, I want you to remember this story as a reason to never let your guard down. And that is my main purpose of posting this and even talking about this, because there's almost more fear in me to talk about it than there is for me to just deal with it. And that is all to do, or this is all to do, guys, I'm like flustered even thinking about talking about this, to do with something that happened yesterday to me. Now, quick little preface to kind of bring you guys back a little bit, kind of update you on everything that I've been doing. I moved out of my condo on my birthday, actually. I got the keys. Oh, excuse me, sir. I got the keys to my house on January 30th. I still had my condo for 2 months after that, so I was slowly bringing all of my things out, painting a wall that needed to be painted, and just like fixing it up, getting it ready for the next people to move in. And so I have been in a house for quite some time. Now I had security cameras installed and I have a top of the line security system, solely because as much as my channel is very spooky, my biggest fear in life is the dark side of the human race. I can watch ghost movies, I can watch horror movies to do with the supernatural, the paranormal, all that jazz, to morning to night, and I'll be totally fine. But whenever I watch movies or films or hear things about stalkers, intruders, murderers, it just like really doesn't sit right with me, and that is one of my biggest fears in life, to be entirely honest with you. Obviously, I'm not afraid of the human race as a whole. There is so much beauty, there is so much love, there is so many people who are kind and amazing, but when I think about true crime cases and just all that stuff, like that really, really doesn't sit well with me. So the biggest reason that I didn't want to move out of my condo so soon was because I loved the security aspect of having a condo. I loved the fact that if somebody recognized me, not that I'm like Kim Kardashian or somebody to that level, but that if somebody recognized me outside, I could go into my condo and there was X amount of units and they would have no idea which one I lived in unless they like followed me in, which they couldn't because we had key fob entry and all of that. And one of my biggest fears of moving into a home was the concept that somebody could find out where I live and just like, I don't know, I don't even want to go there, but that's like been a real fear of mine. And so what happened yesterday was very unsettling to me for that reason especially, and I'm just going to jump right on into it because this video is kind of all over the place already. I feel like I'm not as grammatically correct in this video because my mind is going like a million miles a minute, but alright, so yesterday was a normal day here in isolation. Everything was going completely normal, and I received a call from a number that I didn't recognize. However, it wasn't just a phone number, it actually had a person's full name on it. So I was like, you know what, I should probably answer this, but underneath the full name, it said a city that wasn't my city that I live in. It was like 2 cities over, around like 25 to 30 minutes from me. So I was very confused as to who was calling me, but I figured I'd answer anyways. So I pick up the call, and right away, it's this male voice, and he says, "Hi, Hailey Reese, this is so-and-so," which was exactly like the first name that it told me on caller ID, "and I'm from Domino's Pizza. I'm wondering if you could provide me with your unit number as we're trying to send you something." And I was like, what? Like, sorry, what? And my initial thought was that somebody was pranking me and had used like my name and my phone number to order like a lot of pizzas like you've seen on YouTube before, and that it was going to be like this whole prank thing of Domino's calling to confirm my order or something of that nature. And so I was like, what? Like, I'm very confused right now. Like, you're from Domino's? you need my unit number? And then I was like, oh, no, I don't even live there anymore. And he goes, you're not at blank, blank, blank street, blank. And it was exactly my condo's address, but it didn't contain my unit number. And I was like, no, I don't live there anymore. And the man goes, well, I just needed your unit number because we want to send you free gift cards. And I'm trying to process this because I'm so confused. And I was like, no, I don't live there anymore. I actually just recently moved. And he was like, can I please have your new address? And at this point, Tyler's looking over at me kind of like, looking like, because my demeanor was shifting and I wasn't acting right. And he was looking over at me like, what do you mean? Like, who are you talking to? And the man keeps repeating it and he keeps asking me for my new address. And I was like, may I ask why you want to send me gift cards? Like, I'm entirely confused. Like, I'm not understanding this call. And he basically said to me that they're sending out gift cards to their valued customers and that I'm a valued customer to them. So they wanted to, in appreciation and in light of COVID, send out gift cards to their valued customers. And then he starts asking me if I'm still in the same city that I was when I guess he got my previous address. And at this point, I actually muted him. And Tyler came over and I was like, he said he's from Domino's Pizza. They want to send me out gift cards because I'm a valued customer, but they only have like our last address, but not the unit number. But then I said we moved and now they want the new address. And Tyler's like, cut it, like cut the call. So I just hung up on the person. And I thought it was weird, but I was like, that's like a really strange encounter. But then also like a big part of me started to feel super bad because I almost felt like I was so rude to this like Domino's owner, which is what I was assuming he was because he called from a personal line. And so I started to feel kind of guilty over it. And I was like, should I call back? Like, should I say I'm so sorry? Like my phone died or something. And so I called my mom and I'm like, hey mom, like this is what happened earlier. And she's like, that sounds super weird. Like what Domino's location did you order from? And so I had my mom pull up like my address and like which location would come up on my address. Because as you guys know, when you order online from any restaurant franchise, whatever one is closest to you is your delivery location. And she called them on behalf of me and was like, hey, somebody called me earlier and they were trying to get my address to send out a gift card to me. And they were like, we're not giving out gift cards to valued customers. And my mom talked to the manager and they were like, nope, we are not doing that. So then she thought to call like the surrounding locations, like locations that were close to me. And none of them said that they were doing what this person had said they were doing. And then beyond that, my mom called locations in the city that this number was from, and none of them knew his name. And also, all of them said that they were not doing such a promotion and that it just didn't make any sense. And so as the day went on, I started to feel more and more unsettled and more uncomfortable. And I actually called my friend Jerica and I was like, hey, like this happened earlier. Like it's really not sitting right with me the more that I think about it. And I'll tell you guys why in a few minutes. And she was like, do you want me to call the phone number? Because he hadn't blocked the number or I wouldn't have answered it. And she was like, and I'll see like what the deal is. And I was like, sure. And when she called, she was like, hey, you called me earlier. And he was like, oh, was it about the Domino's gift cards? And she was like, yeah. And he's like, are you in this city still? And she's like, no, I've never been in that city. I'm on an outskirt city. Like she's from further out. And he got all weird and was like, wait, is this Hailey? And if you really think about it, you guys, if they were doing this type of marketing where they're sending out gift cards to their valued customers, why would the first person who comes to his mind, especially when she says she lives like way out, is my name? And so now at this point, I started to feel very uncomfortable because there's a couple of things about this that don't sit right with me. They knew my last address, but not my unit number. They know my phone number, and they know my name, my full name, Hailey Reese. But they wanted my new address to mail me a gift card. And I don't know what to think. I don't know who it was, how they got my number, why they pretended to use Domino's. One thing that I've said in videos is that Domino's is my favorite pizza. So I'm just wondering, like, favorite chain to order from. So a part of me, like, it makes me want to cry thinking about it, is wondering if somebody who's been like keeping tabs on me, doesn't know where I live now, used Domino's as a plausible excuse because I would be a valued customer. It's my favorite chain of pizza. And they wanted my address. And like, for what purpose? Like, I'm getting chills even thinking about it. It's so not sitting right with me. And I'm just so thankful that Tyler in the moment was like, cut because the guy sounded so nice that I probably would have wound up giving my new address because I would have felt bad. And I just want to really talk about this with you guys because it's so important that you value your privacy, you value your personal information enough to not give it out to somebody who's posing as something that they may or may not be. And it just doesn't sit right with me, you guys. Like, the more I think about it, the more that I realize that Domino's Pizza would know my unit number. Like, they would know my exact unit number because I always ordered with my unit number in the information. And what really hits me weird is the fact that he didn't block his number. He said the exact first name that was actually on my caller ID. And it's not enough for me to contact authorities. I know that somebody will say contact authorities. He didn't threaten me, but it's just very creepy that he wanted my new address. It's like, did this person know which building I lived in? Did they know my phone number somehow? Did they know my name, but they didn't know my unit number? And then I ended up moving and they didn't know where I moved to. So now they're trying to figure it out. For what purpose, I don't know. But yeah, that's my story. It's creepy. It's not sitting right with me. And I can be a dramatic person, but even Tyler, my mom's like other half, Jeremy, everybody in my life is like, that's not right. Like, that's a very uncomfortable thing. And I just feel like something really bad could have happened if I gave out my full information. So yeah, I wanted to share it with you guys as a cautionary tale and just to be really, really careful with who you give out your personal information to. But also, I kind of want to know your guys' opinion. You guys are my family and I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. I respond to a ton of comments, but I read even more than what I respond to. So please let me know your thoughts and who you think it could be. I know you guys don't know, same way as I don't know, but it would be nice to hear some theories. And yeah, I just wanted to come on here and kind of vent about what happened and share it with you. And it doesn't sit right with me, but also I'm very thankful. Oh, I'm getting like emotional thinking about it because like the world can be so scary. And when you're somebody like me who could be so oblivious and so naive in certain situations, like I was almost guilted into giving my information out because he sounded so nice and he was like prying at me and he made it seem like they were going to do me a big favor. I just want you guys to be so careful and to just really think things through in the moment, because in the moment I didn't realize how weird it was that they didn't have my unit number, but they like knew my name. I don't know. It just messes with my mind. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below, and please, please, please protect your privacy, protect your personal information, and most importantly, protect yourself. Don't worry about offending somebody in a situation that's making you uncomfortable. If it's making you uncomfortable, trust that intuition and just be very, 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 very careful. But that's my story. With that being said, you guys, I have so much exciting content coming. I just had to come on here and be real with you because you guys are my family and I wanted to share this with you. That's basically it. Just know that I love you guys so much and I never want anything bad to happen to any one of you. So please be careful. And yeah, I love you guys so very much. Please remember to do all things with kindness. And until next time, I will see you guys in my next video. I love you.